Scotty, under 23 trial tomorrow, obviously. I guess the big inclusion from a fan's point of view is Brad Crouch. Great to have him up and about this time of year. How much game time will he see and what role will he play?
Yeah, we'll see how he goes tomorrow, but yeah, clearly he's been able to do a mountain of work, which is great. Supporters should be excited to have him back and see him back out there. I know we are internally. I know the players have been, rapt to see him back on there, and he does make a difference for us. So we'll be guided a bit on how he goes tomorrow as to how much game time he'll play.
Will he start in the centre square?
Fair chance, yeah.
Yeah. Is there a good chance that, like, obviously guided by tomorrow, but how much game time at this point do you expect him to play?
Oh, I'm not sure, and to be quite honest, at this stage. Once again, we'll see. Clearly, we want to make sure that he's right to go for the JLT component of our preparation going into round one. So we'll make a call on that tomorrow.
I think Riley Knight's playing as one of the overages too, so good for him. He only played, I think, 8 games last year.
Yeah, there's a couple of guys that I guess would be, vying for round one spots as well. But it's a great opportunity for the other guys to put their hand up as well to make it difficult for selection for JLT1. So, there's Knight and Duday, O'Brien, those sort of guys that have had great pre-seasons that, we're hoping that they play well tomorrow to put some real pressure on us at match committee next week.
Where do you think Brad is at, Scott, from a point of view where if he played the JLT and leading into sort of the early rounds of the season, obviously can't do so much of training, where do you think he's at?
Physically?
Yeah, in terms of if he played round one, how far off would he be? What does he need to do?
Oh no, he's ready to go. In terms of, we'd be comfortable to pick him for round one with the work that he's done. But we are mindful that he hasn't played for 12 months as well. So we've got to take that into consideration with feedback from him and the HPT staff with how his body's going. So, but we're confident with where he's at.
Looking further ahead, if Brodie Smith comes back in, probably for JLT, what sort of run and carry does he give this squad?
Yeah, he gives us a bit. We missed him last year, no doubt. But one, I guess, positive out of him not playing is we're able to get Wayne Miller back there as well. So he had an outstanding season for us at half back. So I guess that half back line with Smith, Laird and Miller is pretty damaging from an offensive point of view. But clearly they're back there to defend as well. But look, Smitty hasn't put a foot wrong. Got himself in really good shape towards the end of the last season. Obviously got back and played a game for his own confidence, and he hasn't missed a beat so far. So we're really hopeful that he'll have an outstanding year for us.
Is it a real point of difference for Adelaide? You can have those three, I guess, playmaking backmen who can run, carry, and so skillful that some other clubs are struggling for run. Is that an area that you can get an advantage on other teams?
Well, we like to think so. I mean, clearly those guys generate plenty of ball. They all kick it really well. Brodie and Wayne arguably, meet as game players, are important, I guess, in the modern day game. So to have that option, and I guess between probably Wayne and Brodie as well, the opportunity to play in wing and midfield time as well is the other option that we're looking at.
And all your new draftees are playing, you'll be named tomorrow, plus Stengel and McCallum, 2 recruits.
Yep.
How have they looked on the track over the summer? How many of those guys could push for a round one spot?
Yeah, tough to say. I mean, particularly the guys that we drafted, they haven't played against men as such. They've come from the under-18 competition, so it's certainly been a step up for them. Having the conversation with them around when we've done some, match simulation in training, it's certainly a step up. But they'll get their first opportunity tomorrow to put their best foot forward. We have no limitations on the guys that we draft, whether they're ready to play or not. So it'll be around the team to beat Hawthorn round one as to whether they can do it. So I'm really comfortable with the group that we've got in, that they can all push for selection for round one, yeah.
Stengel and McCallum, they're obviously more experienced bodies.
Yeah, well, Stengel's obviously he was at Richmond. He's probably vying for one of those small forward spots, so that's a tough spot to get at the moment. And Shane probably gives us something a little bit different, with his size and shape. So be interesting to see how those guys go, in an AFL game tomorrow to give us some good feedback as to where they're at.
Is it just Greenwood and Brown? They're probably not likely to feature in JLT, or Brown half chance?
No, they're both a good chance. Yeah, whether it's JLT, JLT2, we're trying to get good load of training into them. So clearly they're pretty important to us. So we're going to make sure that they're right before we put them in there. But I would suggest that both those guys would have a run at some stage in the JLT.
And looking at preparation-wise, I mean, it's pretty hard to compare, but last pre-season to this pre-season, what do you think you've done right this pre-season to get so many guys cherry ripe and ready to go?
Well, I think it's a combination, Theo, really on the basis that we've had more time, clearly not playing finals, and I guess coming off a grand final loss, the players had time to get away, had a good break, come back refreshed, and clearly want to do better than what we did last year. So that's part of it. The second part is we had 7 weeks of training pre-Christmas, and in terms of the numbers, we've been able to get a lot more into them pre-Christmas, and that puts us in good stead for them to come back and train well after Christmas. So we're in a better position physically than what we were this time last year, no doubt.
You're looking after the mids again this year?
Yep.
Licking your chops with the cattle you've got to choose from this time around?
It's nice, yeah. No, there's some good inclusions back there, and as I said, there's opportunities for some other guys to, with Wayne potentially and Lairdy and Smitty and those sort of guys to get thrown in there at some stage. So, yeah, it's a good competitive group for spots at the moment, which is great to have as a coach.
How do you feel about the starting positions?
As in centre bounce?
Yeah, in terms of how that's going to affect the way you set up and
yeah, well,
advantage it might give you?
Well, I think it would be a bit of a feel out. It is different, clearly, and we're probably one of the teams that have toyed with the number ratio more than probably us and Richmond, if you have a look at the numbers. So, that's going to be a great challenge for the whole AFL, how they adapt to it. So, we're really keen to make sure that we win our share inside, and then the outside sort of take care of itself. So, we've been trialling a few things, and we've had some success in some and not so in others. So, but until you get it against real opposition and see what they throw back at you, and it's a bit hard to tell at the moment.
Is it the biggest change for you guys? I mean, you're the lowest. I mean, the way you set up, you had 8 blokes behind the ball more than any other team in the AFL. So it's a bit of a bigger change for you than it might be for some others.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah. So depends on how you see it. So we hardly got scored against from CB last year. We were really strong in that area, but probably didn't win our share enough on the inside. So that's a bit of a flip for us. But it's a great challenge for our group as well. And we get 6 forwards. Potentially, if we get enough in there, I think we're in a really good space to score more as well. So, yeah.
So you practice that tomorrow, the 6x6?
Yep. That's all in there. But, in terms of the other rule changes, I guess not having the runners is the other big challenge for us as coaches and the players as well.
And the new kicking rule, will that suit someone like Brodie Smith?
Well, I think it will suit any team that's got a guy that can kick the ball as far as what Brodie perhaps can. So, it's going to be an interesting what teams do. Clearly, an extra few metres makes a fair bit of difference to get the ball in the middle of the ground, the fattest part of the ground. So, from an offensive point of view, yes, but from the flip side, to try and defend it is always the challenge as well.
And with the young group tomorrow, what's the key focus on coaching power?
We just want them to play. Clearly we've had a long pre-season and we've educated and we've trained around what we want from, the 3 phases. So we'll let them play tomorrow and see the feedback whether, what we've tried to implement we'll see tomorrow. We won't tweak too much tomorrow, I wouldn't have thought, and give those guys the best opportunity to put their foot forward for the following couple of weeks.
What about bending the rules, Campo? Have you found a way to bend some of the new rules?
Possibly.
No. Any you could share?
No, not yet, mate.